Right. Look at the question number 1. Right. Recap paper number 1. Question number 1. Right. But which of the best described of the accounting objective of accounting? Right. So when you are described, right, your answer sheets will be received within 1 week, right? Because marker like within 1 week, right? Right. Which statement is best to describe the objective? So when you see the objective, there are 3 criteria, 3 keywords. First one actually providing information for decisions making and its stakeholders, right? Can you see the word providing information, decisions making? So no. Wait, right, financial accounting, correct, regarding financial accounting, it provides financial information for external stakeholders, correct. Prepare general purpose financial statements, yes, and preparing finance statements according to the legal requirement, yes. Therefore, my all answer should be number 5. Right. Number 2, elements are considered to prepare financial position for a specific date, assets, liabilities, and equity. Very easy. Number 4. Question number 3. Discount received, advance received. Sorry. Yeah. Return inward, provision for depreciations. Right. Discount received lama income, advance received liability. Return inward lama sales, opposite side of sales ni. So income, right? Income account, right? Income. But provision for depreciation also asset, because we have to record under non-current assets, right, as a minus figure. So answer will be income, liability, income and asset. Answer number 3. Answer number 3. Question number 4. Advance received for future sales not recognized as sales income. Then here my advance received, right, liability. If the question says advance received recognized as a liability, it should be accrual consent. But here emphasize recognition of income. Income recognize realization concept, right? Realization number 1. Easy. Question number 5. Question number 5. Personal assets of the owner can't record in books, right? Books of the business, right? Which is the concept, right? Business entity concept, because owner and the business are independent parties. Clear? Right? Number 5. 5 එකට 5 again. Right? Very easy. Number 6. දැන් මම පළවෙනි first paper එකේ ළමයි ටිකක් මම පට්ට අමාරු කරේ නේ. හරිද? right? මොකද චුට්ටක් වට කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට තමයි දෙන්නේ. හරිද? තේරෙනවද? right. Number 6. Which one is not included in cost of closing finished goods? And what's the answer? There are few things you can't include it in cost of closing, right? Finished stock. What? Administration, finance, other, right? Those things, non-production cost you can't include. And also abnormal wastage, right? You can't include it, right? And also storage cost of finished goods. Clear? The factory leaks it can, because production overhead, right? Purchase cost definitely include direct labors, machine, those are production related. But my storage cost of finished goods finish distribution expense. Answer should be number 4. Answer should be number 4. Understand that? Correct? Right. Number 6. Next page. Next page. Question number 7 and 8. Question number 7 asked, what are the source document to record about transactions? Look at Amal business has registered for that 1 million list price of goods sold on credit. On credit basis මොකද්ද? Invoice. Invoice මෙහෙම ලියා ගන්න පොතේ කියනවා question එක කරලා මෙහෙම ලියන්න. හරිද? And customers return, a customer return means then sales account credited නේ. Right? When selling sales account credit, so looking at the sales credit side, you can prepare a document what? Credit note. Sales return me credit note කියලා තමයි ගන්න ඕනේ. Credit note. And receivable balance received subject to discount, right? Receipt, cash receipt. invoice, credit note, receipt, answer number 4, right? Wakar වෙනස් answer එකක් තිබුත් කියන්නේ answer number 4. Correct the answer number 4. Okay, the any issues? Right. Now right. Correct. Right. Number 8. Section number 8. Right. You have to identify the cash receipts and discounts allowed of Amara business. Right. So first of all, you have to identify sales value and you have to identify return value. Then you can identify actual receivable balance. Clear? So here my total receivable balance. Then keep in mind sales and return, the receivable balance will be sales, selling price and VAT. VAT එකත් එක්ක තමයි customer ගේ හම්බෙන්නේ. Understand the total, total. So here list price how much? I record list price. Then you can't record list price 1000 and trade discounts will be 10%. Therefore 10% means 100 ni. 100, so actual sales will be 900, so you have added the VAT. Look at VAT amount 8%. VAT එකත් ගන්න ඕනේ මෙතනදී. Clear? VAT එකත් එක්ක තමයි ගන්න ඕනේ, right? කීයද එන්නේ VAT amount? 900 into 8%, it will be 72. 72. So total receivable balance will be 972. Right? Me total sales plus VAT. දෙකම තමයි customer ගේ හම්බෙන්න ඕන. Right? Sales receivables කියලා ගමු මෙතන. Sales receivables. Right? Sales receivable. But like return also, you have to identify the receivables value. So return value, return also like list price. List price how much? 200,000. And trade discount also you have to apply here, right? Me gaddi tiba discount එක මෙතන apply කරන්න ඕනේ. Clear the 10%, which is 20. Return. So VAT also calculate here 8%. How much 8%? පොතේ හදාගන්න මම ටක් ටක් කරලා හදාන්න යනවා මොකද ටයිම් එක නැහැ. 14.4. So total receivable will be how much? 194. Clear? 194. Right. Me deducted VAT එකත් එක්ක තමයි ගන්න ඕන receivable එක. Therefore actual receivable balance how much? $777.6. 776 77.6, right? Clear? So now this is the remaining actual receivable balance. So you have to deduct what? Discounts allowed. What's the discounts allowed percentage? Discounts allowed percentage now will be 10%. In 10% means here 77.76 on our first answer and deducted it. Received amount how much? 699.84 on over. These will be the two answers, right? They have hadala balanda thino wheel. 699. Answer number 4. Right? Can you send me the answers? Right? Answers. Answer number 4. Answer number 4. Okay, then? Yes, right. Try to do papers. I'll your marking scheme other can answer sheet other balan patak. Amamane balani. ඒලුල් මාර්කින් ස්කීම් කියලා බලන්න. හරිද? නිකන් අපි ස්ට්‍රක්චර්ඩ් එහෙම. right? තේරෙනවද? Right. Okay, the clear? Right. Question number 9. Right. You can, if you want, just note note down, but I'll send in detail marking scheme, right? Right. Question number 9. Question number 9. Following errors have occurred in a business. Identify the impact on trial balance. Impact on trial balance mean impact on trial balance, which means difference, right? Difference of the error, right? වැරද්ද හින්දා difference එකක් එනවනේ. ඒ difference එක එන පැත්තෙන් තමයි trial balance එකේ difference එක එන්නේ, right? Trial balance difference comes from the balance, right? Imbalance වෙන පැත්තෙන් තමයි එන්නේ. The first one, 72 electricities recorded as 27 in electricity account. That means electricity accounts ළමයි incorrect. Recorded as 27, right? But ළමයි this is the incorrect account, but cash accounts we have to think as correct. ඒක හරියට record කරලා දෙන්න කියලා හිතන්න වෙනවා on the first entry, right? This is correct, but electricity accounts incorrect. Clear? Right? But when then what's the difference comes from which side? Difference එකක් එන්නේ මොන පැත්තෙන්ද? Right? Which side? It comes from debit side. Debit side, right? Here, look at the difference. It's 45. I mean, difference lamai 45. That is a suspense account. So this is the answer, right? On a difference, right? No need to correct. Second one, 50,000 total of debtor receipt column. Debtor, what debtor receipt? Debtor, yeah, debtor receipts. What's the double entry? Cash debit, right? Cash debit 50, but debtor should be credited. Debtor credited, but what's the error? Column debited to the debtor. Debtor also lamai debited. Debtor credit කරනවා, debtor should debit කරලා. That's the error, right? Therefore, difference comes from which side now? Credit side. How much? There suspense කියලා එන්න ඕනේ එක, but මෙතන අහන්නේ කීයද කියලා? 100. So therefore me debit 45, credit 100. What's the remaining difference? Credit 55. Difference comes from credit side. 55 කියලා එනවා. බලන්න dance එක තියෙනවා කියලා understand. ඒ අහන difference එක එන පැත්ත අහන්නේ. What is that? Question. ඒ කියන්නේ difference comes from credit side නෙමෙයි, debit credit. ඒ කියන්නේ difference මේ පැත්ත අඩුයි ඇත්තටම. මේ lower 55. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ පැත්ත වැඩි higher 55. මේ difference මේ පැත්තේ. Right? Wait a minute. Right. Look at total of debit column more than credit column. මේ credit එකට වඩා debit column එක වැඩි කියලා එන්න ඕනේ. Answer number, what's the answer number? Answer number 2. What's your answer? Answer number 2. Tell me. Answer number 2. Yes, very carefully you have to do. Yes. Answer number 2. Right. If you want to write down, right. Any question? Chat එක දාන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා WhatsApp එකේ දාන්න මම බලන්නේ නේ. Right. Now ළමයි. Right. Now question number 10. Right. Question number 10, no? Right. Question number 10. අන්තිමේට කරන එක චුට්ටක් වෙලාවක් තියෙනවා. මොකද ඒතර ඔයාට පොඩි නෝට් එකක් දාගන්න පුළුවන් හරිද? Right. What's happened? Hey, can you see the screen properly? Lag වෙනවා. Right. Question number 10. Right. Question number 10. No. Oh, this is question number 9. Yes. Question number 10. 200 list price goods purchase 10% discount में you can't record list price नहीं. List price lama you can't record, right? 200, so you can't record it. So discounts means what? That is not trade discount. කලින් කරේ trade discounts අපි record කරන්නේ නැහැ නේ. Right? You have to deducted it. So actual purchase value how much? It will be 180. Me assets equals liability plus equity, right? Me inventory value increased by 180, but question says paid only how much? Paid only 100. Me pay කරලා තියෙන 100 විතරයි. එහෙනම් cash decrease වෙනවා කීයද? Only 100. Clear? Me cash 100. So එහෙනම් remaining 80 what? That is ළමයි payable. Creditor එක ගෙවන්න ඕනේ. Creditor me 80 creditor. Clear? Therefore difference ළමයි here 80, here also 80, here will be 0. මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ answer එක? Answer number 3 the answer number 3. Paid owners. Whoa. Paid by owners lamai. Therefore here paid by owners ne. Therefore you can't look at that, read the question properly. You can't which is paid by the owner. Therefore not cash decrease, business cash decrease ne. Therefore owner paid, right? Owner, when owner paid means owner provide cashes to the business. Clear? To business transactions. Therefore owners ownership increase. ඒක capital එකක් විතර තමයි දාන්න වෙන්නේ. owner ගෙවුවාම අපේ business එකේ cash නේ owner capital increased and liability decreased, right? So answer should be record as right. What's the answer? Answer number 4. It should be answer number 4 ළමයි. Very important nah. Read the question properly. 4th එක නේද දෙන්න ඕනේ. Yes. Right. Clear? Right. Now right 10 එක 4 වෙන්න ඕනේ. හරි. Right නේද? Okay. Next one. Question number 11. Question number 11. Identify adjusting and non-adjusting, right? Then authorized date lamai May 5th ni. May 5th. Main debtor has been bankrupt, right? But lamai we will know, right? When customer going to bankrupt, we have evidence, right? එහෙම නිකම් එකපාරට වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපිට ඒකට evidence තියෙනවා. Therefore you can adjust it, right? Therefore stock damages you can't adjust because automatically, right? Proposed dividends also not the final dividend, so non-adjusting. Insurance company agree to compensation which is discussion level 31st March. You can adjust, right? A and D adjusting, B and C non-adjusting. Answer number 2. Answer 2 again now. Clear the 2 neither 11 2. Right? 2. Right, next page. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද අහන්න? ඔයාලගේ answers ළමයි I'll give you within 1 week, right? Give you few days. එකපාරටම දෙන්න බෑ. බලලා තමයි යවන්නේ. ඔකම හරි සතියින් දෙනවා. Right. සතියින් කියන්නේ discussion එක තියෙන දවසේ ඉඳලා සතියක්. හරි ඉස්සරහට. Right. Question number 11, sorry 12. bank overdraft 60,000 in the bank statement. Bank statement overdraft means minus balance. Clear? Minus balance. Cash account balance different with the bank statement. The reasons are as follow. What is the correct cash balance or overdraft which should be presented under no, which should be presented means which is adjusted cash balance. Adjusted cash balance, right? You have to identify it can be minus or plus, right? So you have to prepare my bank rec. Bank rec එකක් ගහලා තමයි ගන්න වෙන්නේ. Right here bank statement balance. Right, bank statement balance තමයි overdraft නේ. Overdraft means minus balance minus 600 me overdraft. Overdraft, right? Minus OD. Clear? How to add මේක නිකන් මම logic එක කියන්නේ නැහැ. හදන විදිහ කියන්නේ unpresented plus unpresented plus unrealized minus but unrealized minus unpresented checks 120 unrealized checks 700 minus මේ bank reconciliation minus but second one dishonored check ni. Dishonored checks where we have to record. Can you see the board clearly? Dishonored checks අපි කොහෙද දාන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන්? Question number 12. Where we have to record dishonored check. Cash account cash account that is omission considered as omission. Clear? Then next one 80,000 deposited check which was deposited by the bank mistakenly. Bank mistakenly deposited. What is that? Bank statement error or cash account error. Bank එක වරද්දලා වෙන කෙනෙක්ගේ check එක අපේ account එකට දාලා. Right, bank statement error, right? Me. Therefore, and here don't worry about then when you're going to do preparing finance bank reconciliations, then here minus don't worry about that. When some bank deposit mistakenly 80,000, what happened to the balance of bank account? වෙන කෙනෙක් වරද්දලා deposit කරොත් bank balance increase වෙනවනේ. Here don't worry the minus plus නිකන් එහෙමද? වෙන කෙනෙක් bank එකේ deposit bank mistakenly deposited, right, of another account holder check. Therefore bank balance increase නේ, right? මේ short method එතකොට මෙතන balance එක අඩුයි මේ lower. Clear? But here balance increased me. So you have to identify that increased balance. So you have to add it. Me bank statement error. Clear? 80. Right now. Therefore reverse and tell me the balance. Reverse and identify. When reverse then this is minus ne. Again add back it. These two plus ne. So deducted it. Minus කරන්න. තේරෙනවද? Right, what's the answer? What's the answer? 600 plus 700 minus 200. Was it 100 minus? Minus 100 mean cash account minus means credit balance. Credit balance. Credit balance. Okay, the credit balance means overdraft. Overdraft. Credit balance means overdraft. Overdraft. OD. Answer number 3 the. Answer number 3. Right. Tell me, confirm. Next one is how much the balance of cash account before adjusted. Before adjusted mean you have to prepare a what? Adjusted cash control account. Right? May balance adjusted deck hadandu. Adjusted cash. So and here my adjusted cash balance how much? Minus 100 me. So record it as brought forward balance me. Brought forward me over minus 100 balance carried down. But there's one omission, deposited check dishonored. When deposit debited, when dishonored you have to credit it me. Dishonored උනහම ඒක credit කරන්න ඕනේ. මෙන්න මේ පැත්තට දාන්න ඕනේ. right දාලා මේකේ තිබ්බ balance එක හොයා ගන්න ඕනේ. මේ 100 මේ debit side එකකින් එනවා balance. How much the balance? This is the incorrect balance. අර තිබ්බ වැරදි balance එක හොයාගන්න ඕනේ minus. That one also overdraft. Okay ද? කීවෙන්නේ answer එක? 50,000 credit balance answer number 5. මේ වගේ ගත්තම එන්නේ නැහැ. මම නිකන් ලොකු ගණන් අමාරු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right. Who had correct answers? Okay, තේරෙනවද වැඩි? Right. Now you have like 3 months නේ. Right. Exactly, you have 3 months. Can't you get your can't what then normally when I was A-level student, right, during last 3 months I did papers, right? Actually I did past paper questions again and again, right? The company comes from I did again and again and cash flows එකම ප්‍රශ්නේ ආය ආය හැදුවා. Oh shit, sorry. Is it 80,000? No, dishonest checks 50, right? Dishonest checks 50 නේ. Bank statement error 80. Okay, then when I was a A-level student, I did past paper question, right? I had the past papers, and so mainly now you have to focus on around 50% of past papers and around 30% model questions, and remaining 20% of my focus on new theory parts, right? Now the අන්තිමට කරන පාඩම් තියෙන ඒවට බලන්න. Clear? එහෙනම් දර ඔය cash flows ළමයි cash flows එහෙම මේ try to do only past papers, right? ඉතින් අපි දෙන papers කරන්න. මම නම් ඒවම තමයි කරලා ගියේ. I got the district first, right? Right. Okay. Now next one, question number 14 and 15, right? Question number 14 and 15. Total debtor, debtor control account balance 600,000 for following information related to month, right? There are transactions, but question asks, what is the balance of debtor control before rectifying the errors? Before rectifying the errors means what? Incorrect cash balance, right? Incorrect cash balance, sorry, incorrect debtor control account balance. So I'll prepare incorrect debtor control account, right? Debtor control, but I'll record the opening balance first of all, 600, and I think there are, look at there are 8,000 cancellation discounts allowed has not recorded in debtor private account error. Total discounts allowed debited to the under control account is the second one, but third one also debtor control account, right? First of all, I'll record here then discounts allowed debit debtor credit nilawai, right? It haven't record credit side, it has been debited here. Make discounts allowed total how much? Here discounts allowed 20, it has been debited erroneously. It was the third error. Total sales channel overstated by 100 and off on. Wait, the sales total how much? 1,500, but it has been overstated by 100, which means recorded as 1,600 on a second error. But my other transactions are correct. Anith ඒවා හරියට දාන්න. Clear? Look at return invert correct, return invert debit, debtor credit 300 correct. Discounts allowed recorded erroneously, and debtor receives cash debit, debtor credit 780. Dishonest check means me received one. I mean the make a dishonest debit pattern 72 me cash correct. Dishonest. Then cancellation discounts allowed. Metana correct one here, like credited when cancel it, you have to debited it. Me cancel discounts allowed. How much? 8,000. The metana තොරද්දලා මේ පැත්තට දාලා දෙන incorrect. No, so get the balance. That's it will be the incorrect balance. 620 plus 1,600 plus 80. 2,300. Get the balance carried down. Balance brought forward. That's the incorrect balance. 300 minus 780. 1,220 balance. Incorrect balance, 1220. Here's the answer number 2. Answer number 2, right? Answer number 2. නේද? වැරදි ටික දාලා හරි ටික අනිත් ටික දාන්න. දැන් මේ පේපරේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහ තමයි දීලා දෙන්නේ. Right. Okay, but we're going to discuss structured questions next week, second paper next week. So I'll company account question I'll upload recording because time wasting. I'll discuss optional questions and recording for company I'll send, right? ඒක බලන්න හිමීට හරි මොකද අර discussion එක online කරද්දී කියන company එක around it will take around 2 hours to do as a live session. මේ අපි එක වෙනම කරමු හරි right. So here 15 asked, what is the difference between adjusted debtor control account and incorrect total of list? Then here you have to prepare debtor reconciliation. No need to prepare actually, right? Right. Debtor reconciliation එකකින් තමයි ගන්න debtor rec. Right. So you have to get here adjusted debtor control account balance 1220 and here get the total of list of debtors. Right, list of debtors that is unknown, but which errors you have to consider to prepare debtor rec? Private account errors. Private error. Clear? Only private account errors. Control account errors, debtor control account, adjusted incorrect one. Right, actually no, this is not the adjusted one. This is actually we don't know. This is incorrect one. You have to adjust it. Actually no need to adjust here. Or adjust කර හොයන්න ඕනේ. Anyone can tell me. Then the question asks, what's the difference between adjusted and incorrect total of list of debtors private accounts? So which means to debtor reconciliations. So you have to consider what's the debtor reconciliation error things, private account errors. Then private account errors නේ ගන්න ඕනේ. No, YouTube live එකක් දාන්න බැරුණා මේ මම පොඩ්ඩක් late වුණා ඒක. Okay, therefore what's the private account error now? What's only number 1 නේ. Right, no need to calculate, no need to identify adjusted balance. ඕව හදන්න යන්නේ වෙලා යනවානේ. What's the private account error මේ? Number 1. What's the value? 8,000. 8,000 you no need to prepare it, time wasting. 8,000 in no difference. Answer number 1. Answer number 1. What? Okay there. Any question? තේරෙනවද? අර adjust කරලා ආය හොයන්න ඕනේ හදන්න ඕනේ අර. Only private account errors difference. Right? Whether it plus or minus, plus or minus a difference එක 8 නේ. Private account errors. Yes. Understand? මාර YouTube live session එක දානවා කියලා කිව්වට අද දාන්න බැරුණා ටිකක් late වුණා. Right. Okay, the clear? Okay, any question? හරි. ප්‍රශ්න දෙනවනම් දාන්න මම ටක් ගාලා ඩිස්කස් කරනවා මොකද නැත්නම් 50ම ඩිස්කස් කරන්න බැරි වෙනවා. Right. Okay, right, if you don't worry if you can't record it, me write down this because I'll send the answer sheet with workings, right? උත්තරේ හැදෙන විදිහක් තියෙනවා මම ස්කීම. හැබැයි දැන් බලන් ඉන්න හදන විදිය හරි. Right. Question number 16. Right, tell me the answer 16. Question number 16. What's the answer? 16. Anyone can tell me? Cost closing stock of company overstated by 60. How to understand me? When calculating like this, question like this, closing stock, opening stock, I'll assume now opening stock, let's think I'll assume as 500, right? May assume, right? Then I'll assume closing stock, right? Let's think closing stock 300, right? Therefore, how much the cost of sales? I'll assume few amounts, right? With no need to assume purchase value. I think then here previous one, no need to prepare any, because to prepare data reconciliations, you have to consider which errors, private account errors. I think row number 1 private account error value how much, 8000 ඉතින් ඒකෙන් තමයි එන්නේ plus, whether plus or minus, right? දැන් මේක plus කරත්, right, plus කරත් 8000 difference, the only private account errors නේ, minus කරත් මේ, right, no need to actually, I think cancellation discounts allowed not recorded means okay, debit නේ වෙන්න ඕනේ මේ cancellation අර erase it debited නේ, right, it means here not debited it, right, debit කරලා නැහැ මෙතන තේරෙනවද, right, එතකොට තමයි balance එක අඩුයි, එතකොට මෙතන minus කරන්න ඕනේ මං හිතන්නේ, right, no need to prepare it difference, clear, right. So we assume some opening and closing stock. So let's see closing stock cost of sales as 200. අර අපි purchase මොකුත් නැහැ, opening එක closing එක විතරයි තියෙන්නේ කියලා ගන්නකො. ඒතර cost of sales like this. I mean now what's the error? Applied error. Closing stock overstated by 60. Make overstate the closing stock as 60. මේක 60 වලින් වැඩි කරන්නකො. එහෙම වැඩි කරලා බලන්න what happened to the cost of sales. But opening stock will be remain same. කොහොමද දාන්න බලන්න මේ assume assumption here increase by 60. What happened to the cost of sales? Answer, it will increase or decrease. I think decrease, right? How much? Decrease by 60. Understand? ඔයා කැමති values දෙයක් දාලා කොහොමද දාලා බලන්න මේ cost of sales ළමයි decrease by 60. Cost of sale mean ළමයි expense නේ. When expenses decrease, what happened to the profit of the business? Gross profit and net profit both. Expense එක අඩු වෙන්න profit මොකද වෙන්නේ? Increase or decrease? Can you understand? When expenses decrease, profit ළමයි increase. ආමේ තේරෙනවද වැඩි? ඔයා කැමති values දෙකක් දාගත්තා, right? No need to assume purchases, right? Just opening and closing, මේ cost of sales 200, right? Then change. If opening stock change, ඒකත් දාලා බලන්න වෙනස් කරලා, right? Therefore look at the answer. Cost of sales understated by, yes, understated, yes, correct. A hari. B, profit of the year understated, no, profit increased. Equity, no, profit increase means no, definitely equity also increase, huh? Right, therefore C also incorrect. Answer number only A, answer number 4. Answer number 4. Who had correct answers? Only thing me time එක ඉතුරු කරගන්න ඔන්න ඔය විදිහට හරි. නේද? ඔයා ඔක හදලා ඉතින් එහෙම හදන්න බෑ. Correct the? Right. Any correction? Right. Question number 17. ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා දැම්ම අහන්න. Right. මේකේ අර to do MCQs ළමයි you should have theory knowledge. Theory එක හොඳට දැනන් ඉන්න ඕනේ. සමහර වෙලාවට theory නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඉතින් හරි. Right. 17. Right. Gross profit and net profit 150 me. Gross profit ළමයි drafted gross profit and net profit 150. So you have to adjust it, right? So first, did you remember the short method when rectifying profit? මතකද P&L කියලා දාගත්ත මේ P&L කියලා දාගන්න පුළුවන් නේ, දන්නවද මේ P&L if it is debit, P&L credit. If P&L debit ළමයි minus P&L credit plus කියලා තමයි ගන්න. I'll teach you this. Right, look at the error. Right, error A. Right, question says financial statement preparing including 50,000 closing stock. What's the double entry closing stock debit, cost of sales credit නේ. But net realizable value how much? 40,000. It hasn't considered, right? ඒක consider කරලා නැහැ. Therefore what's the adjustment? You have to what? 10,000 decrease නේද? You have to write off it ළමයි. මේ write off, I write down the adjustment entry stock write off debit 10. ඒක closing stock එකෙන් තමයි අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ. You have to deduct it from closing stock. Understand me? Closing stock credit. Closing stock in අයින් කරලා recognize as a what? Expenses. Clear? Right? Right? This is which one is expensive? This is current asset and this is expensive. Me. Please record P&L. Me P&L කියලා දාලා බලන්න. P&L debit means what? Minus. Me profit will be decreased. This is my only impact on net profit because record on other expenses. මේක ගිහිල්ලා other expense වල දානවා. Therefore, you have to deduct it only from net profit. Right? Won't adjust to the current what? Gross profit. තේරෙනවද? Gross profit එකට impact වෙන්නේ නැහැ. තේරෙනවද නැත්නම් කියන්න. B, sales commissions debited to sales account. Sales debited නේ. So deducted to sales. මේ sales වලින් අයින් කරන්න. Sales ළම again credited. මම මේකට working එක විතරයි හදන්නේ. ඔක්කොම අර in detail කරන්න බෑ. Sales credited. මේ and debited to what? Sales commission expense account. Sales commissions debit. Let me both ළමයි P&L items make this is income, this is expense. Make please put P&L. This one also P&L. But P&L debit minus profit minus sales P&L credit profit මේ plus. ඉතින් ඔක logically හදන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? But sales commission ළමයි recorded under which expense? Distribution. So impact only net profit. එහෙනම් net profit එකෙන් විතර minus කරනවා මෙතන. Right? But sales means plus නේ impact on both gross profit as well as net profit. දෙකටම plus කරන්න ඕනේ ඊළඟට මේ 15 and here also 15. Clear? Then get the adjusted one. ඔච්චරයි. Here 215, here 140. With the recordings on it. Right, yes. What's the answer? Answer number 5. Right, can you understand? Can you understand the theory? Right, P&L debit means like my short method මේ sales commission distributions නේ. So P&L කියලා දාගත්ත මේ this is method. So debit means only impact on net profit. But this one sales impact on both gross and net. උඩින්ම දාන්නේ. ඒතර ඒකට කියන්නේ sales minus. Yeah, මේ sales actually credit means plus right? Sales වලින් අයින් කරන්න තමයි එහෙම දාන්නේ. Sales income increase, profit increase. Okay, that's correct. Okay, නේද? Right. Right, next. If you have any questions, tell me. Right, 18. Question number 18. Balance of provision for doubtful debt account 32,000 January 1st. Which means me provision for doubtful debt account had 32,000 balance. Right, 32. But during the 12,000 debtor has written off bad debts. Me therefore bad debts also you have to record deal. I mean bad debt double into what? Bad debt debit 12,000. Debtor credit 12,000. Right, therefore but this bad debt also we have to record under provision for doubtful debt account. මේකටම තමයි දාන්න වෙන්නේ. Clear? 12 bad debts debtor bad debt එකත් ඒ provision account එකට දාන්න. Right? ඉතින් අයෝ දැන් තේරෙන්නේ නැද්ද මේ sales දැන් B part B sales account debited නේ ඉතින්. දැන් sales commission ඒක මේ කලින් අහන්න දැන් මේ අරකට යන්න කලින්. in sales. Me sales commission haven't debited, but debited to which account? Sales accounts. 15. Right, to decrease it, sales credit. Right, debited to make correct accounts, debit. Understand the right. So next one, and closing debtor balance 500,000 and identify 10% provision for doubtful debt on the closing balance. Therefore, provision for doubtful debt, you have to identify closing provision, me 500,000, which is 10%. And a closing balance how much? 50. Me 50 karagana dana metan credit. Me balance brought forward, balance carried down. That's the new one. Therefore, you have to identify expense. Me expense when me patin tama innya. The make theory ho danang indonya. Me both doubtful debt and bad debts. Here 62. Make metan dagan 62. Expense how much? 30. Expense should be 30. Answer number 2. Clear? Write down. තේරෙන්නේ නැති ප්‍රශ්න තියෙද්දි මේකම මහන්න. Question number 19. Sun Limited rented a building 24 October 1st. Our accounting period, I think, ended 25 December 31st. So first of all, please draw the time period. This is our accounting period ended 25 December 31st, starting from 25 January 1st. Clear? January 1st, accounting period. So rent the building 24 October 1st. Rented 24 October 1st. All right, which means next accounting period last year. So which is ended 25 which is ended 25 October 1st. This is some old rent. Right, on the first rent, I'll consider as old rent. Clear? Within old rent, rent. Clear? All rent. Right, all rent, which is some 120,000. But 160,000 was paid as rent for the next accounting period 26. I pay right, for next accounting period, which is ended 26 October 1st. Right, this is new rent period. Which is 160. Clear? 160. So there are two rents. So you have to identify prepaid and rent expense. Your rent expense will be this one. From all rent, how many months? From here to here. How many months? 9 months. Right. From new rent, October to December 31st. Right. How many months? 3 months. Right. That will be expense. Right. So then here are my 9 months. So out of 120, 9 months, then 120 divided by 12 months into 9. How much? 90. Method 3 months. 160 divided by 12 in 3 months. Was it 40 there? Therefore, total expense how much? 130. 130 rent expense. Clear? එහෙනම් මෙතන prepaid දානවා නෙවෙයි. Prepaid bill bill තමයි this one. From here to here prepaid. How many months? 9 months. 160 divided by 12 because 12 months period into 9, which is 120. That's the prepaid balance. Answer number 2. Write down. Clear? Right. Here question is production cost, material purchase. First of all, you have to get opening raw material stock and purchase raw material stocks. How much? Purchases 4,000. Then you have to deduct what? Closing raw materials. Right, that is unknown. Then you can get consume used raw materials. Clear? But here question says, look at this material stock decrease. Material stock decreased. Decreased means when compared to the opening stock, closing stock has been decreased by 500. Understand? Closing stock then you can assume any balance. Assume opening balance as less than 2,000. Then closing balance will be how much? Decreased by 500. 1,500. Right? You can assume any balance, right? If here 5,000, here 4,500. Apply right? Then consume raw material how much? 4,500. Next one, direct production salary. Direct salary 200. Right? Then you can get prime cost. Direct other prime. Then factory overheads, production overheads. Factory related. Let me theory here. Production overheads 1,200. But here you have to adjust opening, closing WIP. Opening WIP plus closing WIP minus. Clear? But production cost. But question says difference WIP increase when compared to the opening WIP, closing up WIP increase by 100. Assume let's think opening WIP as 500. Then closing will be how much? Increase by 100, means 600. Minus kila 800, 5,800, right? Okay. Increase decrease kine dala balan. Okay, answer sheet right now. Then you have to calculate cost of sales. You think how to calculate cost of sales? Opening finished goods plus the production cost production cost minus closing finished goods. Clear? Production cost how much? 5,800. But questions not given. Opening, closing cost of sales. Finished goods. Difference finished goods stock decreased by 250. Decreased. Which means when compared to the opening, closing decreased by 250. Assume any balance abhi to 1,000 or assume 1,000, then decrease by 250. Here 750. Or now look at the answer. It's 6,050. Or answer these two will be the answer. Answer number 5. Question number 21. Cost of sold goods of Manil business 760. Selling price goods. Question is how much the gross profit? How to calculate gross profit? Cost of sales plus gross profit equals selling price. Selling price. So question says percentage 20%. anyway 20% on sales, which means 20 divided by 100. Again on sales can we when profit, right, when sales value 100%, you have to keep 20% profit. තේරෙනවද? sales 100 දී profit එක 20 තියාගන්න කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. Understand? Right? anyway so which means when selling sales 100%, gross profit how much? 20%. So cost of sales 80%. That's the meaning. 80% you have to identify. එන්න මේක තමයි හොයාගන්න. Yeah. Might change here. Right. So here questions given like cost of sales 760. May write down here. So how much the cost of sales? Gross profit. 80% තමයි දීලා දෙනා, not 100. මේ then අර විදිහට interpret කරගන්න. Then 80% cost of sales 760. So divide by 760, 80 මේ 80%. දීලා තියෙන percentage එකෙන් divide කරා 80% and multiply by 20%. What's the value? Even gross profit. තේරෙනවද? On selling price, on cost. දැන් ඔයාගේ වැරදින ටික ඔයා ලියා ගන්න පොතක. දීලා ආයෙව බලන්න තියෙදි හොයාගන්න. You can't divide by 100 ඩා. $190. Is it 190? You can't divide by 100 ඩා. On selling price. Answer number 1. Answer number 1. 190. Clear? Right. Next one. 22. Question number 22. Question asks how much the sales for the period, right? Then how to calculate then sales also. Then here I think percentage given. Make cost of sales plus gross profit equals sales, right? Sales. But again, my price percentage provided 40%. Look at gross profit margin on sales. And on sales means same as this one, which means 40 divided by 100. Again, a profit on what? Sales. When sales 100%, profit 40. And a cost of sales how much? As a percentage, which is 60%. 60%, right? 60%. But then here questions provided, you have to identify 100% sales value. Make the but cost of sales also not given. Make a deal up then. Therefore, you have to identify cost of sales. Me incomplete lesson. Huh? How to calculate cost of sales? Opening finished goods. Right, 170. Then purchases. Purchase how much? 610. Then minus closing finished goods. Closing finished goods 180. Minus. Therefore, how much will be the cost of sales? This is 600. On the 600. Write down here 600. Now percentage 60%. The actual amount 600 divided by 60. Related percentage and multiply by 100. Profit take no need to calculate. Multiply 100 directly. It will be 1000. This is the answer. Yeah. Done percentage divide kala chutta step එක වැඩි කරලා තින්නේ. Answer number 3. Right, write down. දැන් ටක් ටක් ගාලා කටුවට ලියා ගන්න. 23. What's the answer? Question asks how much the depreciation expense for the period December 31st. Right. Then question asked. Then this is my purchase 25 October 1st. Accounting period ended 25th December 31st. So you have to depreciate how many months? 3 months period. 3 months period, you have to depreciate. So how to calculate depreciations? Cost minus residual value divided by lifetime. Cost how much? 800, residual value 200, lifetime 10 years. But lama you have to calculate 12 months ni. 3 months ni divide by 12 into 3. කියලා ගහන්න බලන්න ඕ. කියන්න බලන්න answer. What's the answer? 15? 15? Is it 15,000? Yes. බලන්න answer කීයද? Answer number 3. Correct the? Very easy, huh? Simple questions, huh? Very simple. Right. Right. මට කියන්න ලියාගත් I'll give time. Right. චුට්ට ලියාගන්න බලන්න. Right. What's the time? Time නේ. 23. Okay, finish. Who had correct answers? කාගෙද හරි? මේක කරලා එන්න මේක ලියන්න එහෙම ටයිම් දෙන්න බෑ ලොකුවටම. Right, ඔයා කරලා ආන්සර් එක බලන්න තමයි එන්නේ discussion. Very important discussion. Right. 24 which are not relevant for 1890s partnership ordinance 24. 24 sections 24 says profit should be shared equally, no capital interest, no salaries, right? Understand? And 5% annual interest for loans. Therefore, first one, theory part, partners should share profit equally, correct? Partners are entitled salary, no. Salaries some in there, no salaries. Payable amount of retired partner transferred to the loan account, no. That is sections 42, sections 42. D, partners are not entitled capital interest. A and other question is not relevant. Therefore, answer should be B and C. Answer number 3. In නැති ගහන්න. A and D කියලා එහෙම ගහන්න බෑ, incorrect. Not A and D. Not relevant. B and C. Right. Correct? Correct. Right. 25. Tell me 25. Answer for 25. Answer given about 25 වලට කරපු එක. Now you have to maintain a separate page for to write down notes, right? Write down paper number 1, your paper number 1, and write down errors, incorrect answers and topics, right? Topics ටික ලියා ගන්න වැරදි වගේ. Right, then listing depreciation incorrect, LK 60, right? In partnership act theory part, right? Like that, write down, note down all the incorrect questions, topics, right? Topics of incorrect questions. Lela again study it, right? Study, and if you can do past paper questions of partnership depreciations again, right? Right, error corrections karala, ready for the next paper. Understand? Then that's you can improve your weaknesses actually, right? නිකන් ඉන්නවා එහෙම improve වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරිද? ආයෙත් ඔය වැරදි ඔයා අනිවාර්යෙන් කරනවා. තේරෙනවද? Right. Okay, shall I read this one? Tell me the answer for, send me 25. What's the answer? What's the answer for question number 25? Fifth one? $25. What? Me. Question asks how much was the disposal gain or loss? 800,000 value of motor vehicle. That's the cost of purchase motor vehicle. Motor vehicle. So when disposal, you have to identify net value of disposal asset. So you have to deduct the depreciations, accumulated depreciations ටික අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ. Right? Asset, then disposal date what? Disposed June 30th නෙමෙයි, 25 June 30th. But which is purchased, ගත්ත කවද? 21 January 1st, disposed 25 June 30th. June 30th, right? So after how many months? ගත්ත දවසේ ඉඳලා කොච්චරක් ගියාට පස්සේද විකුණලා තියෙන්නේ? After how many months that motor vehicle has been disposed? Can you tell me? The 21, count me 21, 22, 23, 24, 4 years and here 6 months, maybe 4 years and 6 months. After 6 months, right? We can make a kelima again. No, months only. How many months? 24, 4 means 12 months. 4, 40, 24. 48 months plus 6 months. Altogether 54 months. Huh? And after 54 months, convert it to months. 54 months වලට පස්සේ තමයි ඉක්ුණලා තියෙන්නේ. Clear? 54 months. 4 years and 6 months with 54 months. Clear? But question says accumulated depreciation as at January 1st. මේ accumulated depreciations තමයි given, right? 25 which means 21 January 1st to 25 January 1st. For how many years? For how many years depreciations provided? 4 years. Total how much? 300. But here you have to identify questions given 25 January 1st, but you have to calculate up to June 30th. You know, masa hayak calculate, right? Right, 4 years. 4 years depreciation. So you have to calculate then identify depreciation for June 30th. So you have to identify depreciation for 6 months. 25 January 1st to 25 June 30th. 6 months. How to calculate 6 months depreciations? Then total will be accumulated depreciation June 30th. තේරෙනවද? කොහොමද ගන්න මෙතන? ඉතින් මෙතනින් ගන්නකො 1 year depreciations. 300 divided by 4 years. Then you can get annual depreciation. 6 months divided by 12 into 6. කොහොම ගන්න? right? අවුරුදු 4කට දීලා තියෙනවා අපිට මාස 6ක් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර තමයි මේ ජූන් 30th වෙනකන් depreciation ඔක්කොම එන්නේ මාස 54යි. තේරෙනවද? Clear? Therefore how much? 150, 75. Then total accumulated depreciation is how much? 375. Correct? This is 375. මේ ජනවාරි 1 ඉඳලා ජූන් 30th වෙනකම් මාස 6ක් depreciate බලන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර January 1st depreciation total 300 and 6 months depreciation 75, total depreciation 375. Yes, the confirm it. 375. Therefore net value how much? 425. You have to compare with net value. Huh? No, the 37, which is incorrect. Tell me the depreciation. How much? 300 divided by 4, 37.5. 37.5. Right. And total depreciations will be 337.5. So here, right. So net, tell me the net value then. What's the net value? මොකක්ද explain කරන්න ඕනේ? ඉතින් දැන් ඉපරක්. දැන් මෙතන අපි ගත්ත දවස් ඉඳලා depreciation බලන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මෙතන දීලා තියෙන්නේ January 1st වෙනකම් විතරයි. Right? Up to January 1st. Right? Which means 4 years. So you have to identify remaining 6 months because you have to calculate depreciation up to June 30th. Right? Therefore calculate depreciation 6 months. Right? අහගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ. Right, 800 minus 337.5, 462. Right, 462.5. Okay, yes. So therefore, how much the received amount? dispose for how much? Sold for price how much? 520. 462 එක sell කරලා තියෙන වැඩි ගානකට. Therefore gain or loss? Definitely gain. Right? 462 value of motor vehicle, so sold for excess amount 520. මේ ගාන වැඩියෙන් 420 වලට තමයි විකුණලා. එහෙනම් profit එක කීයද gain එක? How much? gain එක දාන්න. 57.5. 57.5 gain ද බලන්න. Answer number 5 ද? Answer number 5. Yes, gain. Write down. Understand? තේරුම් නැත්තම් කියන්න කොතනද? Where we have to explain now. Right here you have to depreciate, right? Deduct all the depreciation from purchase date to disposal date. But here questions given accumulated depreciation up to January 1st නේ. තව මාසයක් depreciate කරලා ඒකත් එක තමයි ගන්න ඕනේ. Okay. 100,000 value of more machines was purchased June 30th, 23. Has been revalued 25 June 30th and received 150 revaluation gain. Again, now same, right? So when your revaluation, you have to identify net value. Cost how much? 1 million. So you have to deduct like all the depreciations up to date, right? And identify net value, right? So compare with the revalued amount. Me, revalued amount compare. Right. So revalued for how much? Revalued. Revaluation 1025. Revaluation gain. Revaluation gain how much? 150. Then question asks what? Accumulated depreciations here. Reverse and identify net value. ඉතින් මෙතන කීයක් වෙන්න ඕනද? gain එකක් වෙන්න. right. දැන් මේකට වඩා low වෙන්න බෑ. අඩු. This is sold revalued for more value. How much? How much the net value? Reverse and tell me. 875. Revalued for 875. Net value minus color. Yes. And how much was the depreciations here? Accumulated depreciations 125 minus. Okay, this is the answer. මෙහෙම ගන්න වෙන්න. මේ ගානට වඩා වැඩි ගානකට රීවැලියුට් කරන්න. මේක එහෙනම් අඩුයි. Clear? Understand? What's the answer? Number 2. Answer number 2. Right, okay. Right, next one. Question number 27. What is the cost of closing stock if it is measured at item by item basis, right? There are two items, X and Y. So you have to identify total cost and total net realizable value, right? So then here you have to multiply by quantity, everything. Quantity, here also multiply by quantity, right? But here then cost how much? 1000 into 100. 100,000. Unit take multiply කරලා ගන්න. Quantity 1500 into 150. 225,000. But here, how to calculate X? NRV. NRV ළමයි unit price 120, but deduct the sales expense. ඒක minus කරලා තමයි ගන්න ඕනේ, multiply by quantity 1000. මේ multiply by quantity. That one also 100,000, right? This is 30 නේ. 30, therefore here 90,000. Clear the පුළුවන් නේද ගන්න? Y selling expense 180, sales value 20, theory multiply by 1500 quantity. 240. Right. First of all, you have to write down like this. Right, any method, right? If you can do like this or T accounts, right? Whatever, or done with hadanna, but mata me with release, taggle time me through, yeah. Right, what can taggle hadanna? Here total cost lamai 335, no? Right, but item by item basis lamai you have to identify low amount between me cost and low amount 90. How to make a clear? Here low amounts will be cost 225. එහෙනම් මෙන්න මේකේ total එක ගන්න ඕනේ. දැන් theory දන්නේ නැත්නම් තමයි easy. 5 350 me. Now you have to compare these two. Which one is lower? මේ දෙක තමයි compare කරන්න. Right, it will be the cost of closing stock. Which one? Cost ළමයි 335 මේ low amounts total. This is the market price. මේක තමයි market price එක කියලා ගන්න ඕනේ. නේද? Alright, එතකොට මේක තමයි ගන්න වෙන්නේ. Cost closing low amounts නේ. Closing stock. Okay, දැන් ඉතින් theory එක දැනන් ඉන්න ඕනේ. නැත්තම් ඉරුම් ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. MCQs කරන්න බෑ theory දන්නේ නැතුව. Right, what's the answer? Answer number 5. Right, who had correct answers? Correct. අර 30 to 50 ළමයි very easy. මම ඒ ටක් ගාලා discuss කරමු මේ MCQs වෙද්දී. 28. What's the answer? What's the answer for 28? එවන්න බා. 28 වලට answer එක මොකද්ද? Question asked. Samagi PSC December 31st balances. Right. Question asked accumulated fund balance and surplus. What was the answer? Non-profit. Non-profit questions. කො කියන්න answer එක ඉතින්. මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ answer එක? Fifth one. Right, let's see. So here accumulated fund balance January 1st 600,000. Accumulated fund January 1st, which is 600,000. Right, so you have to identify closing accumulated fund balance December 31st. You have to identify the mainly lamai accumulated fund change because of surplus or deficit ne. හැබැයි තව එකක් තියෙනවා building fund adjustments, right? Surplus, right? Because of the surplus and there's adjustments which is from building fund adjustments, right? Building fund, right? So here now I'll erase this one. Right, how about this paper? Easy or difficult or medium? What is it? Easy the amount 100. So and building fund January 1st, there's a building fund, right? I think I'll record this one as a building fund. Building fund balance lamai 1000 me box bracket me bucket tag right? Me 1000 and other building office equipment, member fee receivers, cash lamai closing balances me closing assets December 31st, right? What buildings, how much? 2000. And sport equipment 500, right? Member fee receivable, how much? 200, cash, 150. These are closing balances, right? These are closing balances. So normally you can identify my closing balance by deducting liabilities 31st March, right? December 31st liability. I think, are there any liabilities December 31st? No liabilities. So can you tell me how much will be the total equity end of the period? December 31st, assets minus liabilities. How much? 2,700, 2,815. This is the closing liability. Yeah, closing equity. Okay, then. But you can't consider this one. My equity means not the accumulated fund. There are other funds, accumulated fund and other funds, life fund, building fund, and there are so many funds. Because there's a building fund. So question says a building fund 1,500 here, right? Opening balance 1,500. But question says during the period, right? 1 million used to construct the building and constructions has not yet completed. Complete what's the double entry? What's the double entry of preparing constructing building? Cash asset decrease 1 million and it should be transferred to what? Building asset. What's the double entry? Building debit 1 million, cash credit 1 million. This is double entry, but no need to record it because this 1 million already included, right? Make 1 million. Right? But what's the theory? Then what we have to do? From the building fund, you have to recognize income or transfer to which accounts? Equal amount. Make it equal amount because complete equal equal amount transfer to which one? Recognize as donation income or recognize transfer to which accounts? Can you tell me? Theory. Accumulated fund, not donation income. Theory. Donation income building funds, right? You have to transfer to what? Accumulated fund. Clear? Accumulated fund. So you have to transfer to 1,000 because not completed. If completed, total theory complete complete use equal accumulated fund increase 1,000. Therefore, what's the double entry? Double entry will be building fund. The balance will be now 500. The closing balance 500. Building building fund debit. Theory building fund debit 500. 1,000 deducted and transferred to the accumulated fund. 1,000 increased. And because of this adjustment, building fund accumulated fund increase from building fund. Clear? How much? Which is 1,000. Understand? Difference. So no need to record this one, but how to get closing then closing equity December 31st. How much? 2,850. But can you consider this one as a closing accumulated fund? No. You have to deduct closing building fund. Closing building fund other funds accumulated fund building fund December 31st. How much? 500. Accumulated fund December 31st. Yeah, short write down. I'll send the answer sheet with explanations. And closing accumulated fund, how much? 2,350. Method. Therefore, reverse and can you identify the surplus? Right. You should have theory knowledge. Then make a berry. First of all, reverse. Then after the session, tomorrow again study the theory parts. Right? You can order method berry. Berry na correct set 10. Right, how much was the balance here? Tell me. Accumulated fund balance, surplus. Is it 750? Question is accumulate fund 2350, this one, and surplus. Answer number 2. Answer number 2. Yes, answer number 2. A very good question, na? Right, who had correct answers? කාගෙද හරි ගියේ? කවුද හරියටම හැදුවේ? Partnership. Right, question number 29 and 30. Right, 29 and 30. Ashen and Nishan are partnership by sharing 3-2 profit. Profit earned during the period 350. Incorrect profit provided 350. So you have to adjust it. There are 2 errors. Business has paid 50,000 personal income tax. Ashen, there is no drawings within personal drawings cash, but it has been recorded as expense. Therefore, what's the correct double entry? Number 1, drawings recorded in a current account debit 50, cash credit 50, but they recorded as expense, right? Debited to expense accounts, right, instead of current account. But cash accounts correct, cash එකට දාලා තියෙන හරියට cash correct, right? But what's the incorrect account? Expense instead of current, right? Therefore, what's the correction entry? Expense එකෙන් අයින් කරන්න ඕන. Expense credit 50 and debited to which accounts? Current account. That's the first error transactions. Therefore, make expense nama impact on profit ni. So if you want to write down P&L, income or profit adjustments, P&L, profit. Make P&L credit nama the plus or minus? Plus. Any expenses decrease, profit increase. 50. Clear? Next one, Ashen, Dishan entitled salary, right? Those are not errors. You have to record like profit 3 benefits. Right. Therefore, adjusted profit how much? Which is 400,000. Answer number 3. 30th question asks profit shares. Annual profit how much? Adjusted profit now 400 ni. So there are salaries, right? Salaries, you have to deduct one of the benefit, and capital interest no, right? A, Ashan and Nishan monthly multiply by 12. 12 only multiply කරලා ගන්න 120 here 15 into 12. What's the salary? Annual salary. Annual multiply by 12. 180. The capital interest no capital interest no capital interest, right? Therefore, remaining will be my profit share. ඉතුරු ටික profit share එක විතර දෙන්න ඕනේ. How much? 100 between Ashen and Nishan. Clear? So 100, what's the ratio? 3-2 ni. 3-2 total divide 5 ni total ni. 100 divided by 5 multiply by 3. 60. 40. Profit shares lamai 60 and 40. 60 and 40, answer number 3. Answer number 3. Correct the profit appropriation. 3 benefits: profit shares, capital interest, and salaries. Right? Salaries, profit, right? Ratio. Adjusted karlagan, but there's only one error. This one. Expenses are to right. Okay, the correct. Correct. Right. Right now, check how many questions correct out of 30 first 30. පළවෙනි 30 වලින් කීයක් හරිද බලන්න. Send your answers a private message එකක දාන්න. I'll rank your marks around online and both physical. 27, 22. Right. Now you have to improve. Huh? Right. දැන් ඔහොම ගිහිල්ලා දැන් ඔයා හිතන්නකෝ ඔයා එළවලු 30 right. Then how many questions you have to get for MCQ paper? More than 40, yeah? And around 25 between there on. Right, let's see short questions now. Right. I'm not going to discuss that theory parts. I'll write down the answer. Right. Question number 31. Right. I'll immediately do these short questions. Right. Write down the differences between financial and management. Uses of information. Manage financial accounting lamai. What? Mainly external. Mainly external. If you want to write down both external and internal. දෙගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන්. හරිද? First. Second one, uses for a specific period. For a period of time. Normally annually. ඔන්න ඉදිරියට තියෙනවා annually. Right? Management accounting. Right, number 1. Mainly uses lamai internal. Only internal. Right, number 2. Right, required by the managers. Right, frequency required by the managers. එහෙම තියෙනවා නේ. Anytime කියලා එහෙම දෙයක් required by managers. Managers ඉල්ලන විදිහට තමයි දෙන්න ඕනේ. Manager. Right. Right. Like can be daily, monthly basis. Interested parties, no. It's this මෙහෙම තියෙන්න ඕනේ, otherwise incorrect. Right. මේ විදිහට තියෙන්න. Right, required by monthly basis, daily එහෙම තියෙන්න ඕනේ, required by managers. 32. Prime entry books, purchase fabrics on credit basis, purchase journal. Right, source document, purchase invoice. Number 2, purchase furniture. Furniture means non-current assets on credit and general journal. Keep in mind journal voucher. Right, journal voucher. Third one, payments for electricity, payment journal. Right, payment voucher. Payment voucher. Number 4, return goods. Return says this is not return sold t-shirts the finished goods return. What? Sold sales journal return what? Return inward journal. Sales return journal කියලා දාන්න පුළුවන්. Return inward journal. What's the document? Sales credit, therefore credit note. Okay then. Look at them. Study the source document theory parts. 33 lamai, I'm not going to write down the definition. Define the cost of stocks are purchase cost, conversion cost, and other cost. Those things refer the marking scheme. Right, marking scheme. Number 2, cost formulas lamai FIFO and WACC. FIFO and WACC method. .34 concepts A, B, C, and D. What are the concepts? Remaining stocks have deducted when calculating cost of sales. Why cost of sales we have to calculate? Match with the sales income. Right? Therefore, what? Matching concept. Cost of sales. Matching concept. Clear? Next one, remaining stock identifies current assets. Current and non-current classified because of a going concern. Going concern. Preparing income. What's the C? Can you tell me the C? Preparing income state. What's the basis? What's the concept? Main concept. Identify debtors, creditors. Now accrual. Debtors, creditors. Third one, what? income statement prepared according to which concept? What's the concept? Periodic, accrual? No, accrual concept. Then there are two methods now: cash basis profit and accrual basis profit. So when preparing income statement, you have to consider cash receipts, cash received income, and also receivers, paid and payable expenses. Clear? Accrual, very important. Okay, then 35. A business issued 340 selling invoice including 8% VAT. It recorded as 420 342 sales journal. VAT not considered, right? What is the correct? First of all, write down the correct entry. Sales plus VAT equals total, which means when sales 100%, VAT will be 8%, total will be 108%. What question is given? This one, including VAT, 324. So how much the VAT amount? VAT take a key. How to get VAT? 324 divided by related percentage, 108, multiply by 8%, 24, 300. What's the correct double entry? Total should be lamai receivable, debtor. Dekama thamai debtor end only. Clear? Sales VAT lamai liability. VAT credit 24. Right, this one sales income credit 300. This is the correct double entry. Issalam correct hadagan. Understand? First of all, prepare the correct entry. Right. Then what's the incorrect entry? It has been recorded as sales journal 342. VAT එක record කළා then sales journal දැම්මම sales journal means total also 342 නේ. Double entry also 342. Debtor debit 342 කියලා තමයි යන්නේ. Sales also 342. Whole double entry will be incorrect, but VAT amount hasn't recorded. VAT එක දාලා නෙමෙයි දෙකම වැරදි. VAT එක දාලත් නැහැ. Right. Now you have to compare and get the correction entry. තේරෙනවද? පාට ඕනේ නම් මෙහෙම දාන්න පුළුවන්. මේ data. What's the incorrect value? 342. Sales 342. VAT not recorded. These are incorrect. Compare with these one and correct. Get the correction entry. Then data lamai 342 24 but recorded 342. What's the excess amount? කොච්චරක් වැඩිද? මෙතන එන්න ඕනේ 324. How much excess value? කොච්චරක් වැඩියෙන් දාලා debit පැත්තට? කොච්චරක් වැඩිද? 18, right? 18 වැඩි නේද debit පැත්ත නේ? To correct it lamai to deducted it is credited on a correction entry. Debtor credited 80. Sales should be 300 but recorded 324. 342. The 300 නෙන්න ඕනේ. 300 එන්න නම් මොකද කරන්නේ? වැඩි ටික අයින් කරනවා. මේ debited 42. Clear? Sales debit. Right? But VAT lamai not recorded නේ. VAT amount how much? 24. VAT credit 24. Look at me. Debit to credit equals. This is the answer. This is the answer. Right. Correct the Oh, that's it. Write down. I'll give time. 35. We have only 15 questions, but 40 questions in lazy. Right. How much the cost of sales if the close finish if the business use 5-4 method? Right. Number one, 5-4 method. Right. First in, first out. Then here sold lamai 400 units. Sold 400. Clear. So units, right, multiply by unit price into value total. Therefore, my beginning of the question 200 purchase. So you can issue first of all. Islam ek issue kara. Next one 400 means again next one 15 lamai. Ekin kiyak issue karada? Issues 200, remaining 100. And a cost of sales kiyada balanna. Is it 5,000? Cost of sales will be 5,000. Cost of sales 5,000 balanna. First in, first out. Islam issue karna Islam. Firstly 200 issued, then 15 issued only 200. Then you can get 400 sales issued quantities. 5,000, right? Yes, 5,000. Next one, number 2. How much the cost of closing stock if weighted average cost of methods used? Then how to calculate weighted average? අපි ගන්න කොහොමද WAC method එක. Right. WAC method ළමයි total value date divided by total units as at that date. Total units. ඒ දවසට තියෙන units ටික divide කරන්න. So you can get average price. Then here first of all January 2nd units and total value, right? Here unit price 200 into 10 rupees 2,000 rupees. January 4th 300 into 15 total how much? 4,500. Total value how much? 6,500. Here total quantity is now 500. Clear? So issues how much now? Issues කොච්චරක් issue කරලා දෙනවද? Issues තමයි 400 නේ. Right? 400 issues. So here you have to identify average price. Average price එක ගන්න ඕනේ. කොහොමද ගන්නෙ මේ? Total value 6,500. Total quantities as at date 500. Tell me the average price. 13, right? 13 average price. මෙතන දාන්න 30. Therefore issues value how much? Cost of sales. කියන්න බලන්න. 5,200. This is the cost of sales. Therefore remaining stock closing stock how much? 1,300. 1,300. Second one answer 1,300. Right. Clear? ආගෙද හරි. දැන් ඔයාලා ඉන්න ඩිස්කෂන් වල දැන් මේ 3 months කියලාවත් උනන්දුවක් තියන වැඩ කරන්න. එහෙම නැතිවට කැම්පස් යන්න බෑ අමාරුයි ඉතින් හරි. Commitment එක නැතිවට අමාරුයි. Right. Okay, the finish. Clear. Clear? 37. What is the net value? Questions given debtor balance. Debtor balance. How much? 800,000. So identify exact percentage. Then here my provision for doubtful debts. Provision for doubtful debts how much? 40 ni. Net value how much? 760 ni. So can you tell me the percentage here? 800 me. Food. What's the percentage? What was the percentage of provision for doubtful debt? Then if it is 80% means 10%, 40 means what? 5%. Right? No, 5%. No? No, 5%. You have to identify it. Clear? So next one, 50,000 return inward omitted. What's the double int of return inward? Return inward debit 50, debtor credit 50, debtor minus. Therefore, debtor minus adjusted debtor balance will be 750. So you have to identify them again 5%. Calculate the 5% and tell me provision 37.5. Therefore, what's the net value? What's the net value? New net value 713.5. 713.5 no 12.5 12.5, right? Therefore 37 answer 712 and 500,000, correct? Then this is correct. Yes. You have to practice. Then keep in mind the competition, right? There are so many single media students and English media, right? Only 1,000 students. Clear? Right. 38. What is the correct net profit? What is the correct net profit? Is 250. 38. Correct net profit. Here incorrect profit lamai only 250. 250. Clear? 250. I mean return inward lamai. What happened to return inward? PNL. PNL debit means minus me deducted from profit because sales income minus 50. But lamai doubtful debts. What happened to the doubtful debt? Me doubtful debt lamai. This is lamai over provision. Me. Therefore, you have to reverse it. Me provision for doubtful debt, right? Debit. How much? 2.5. And doubtful debt expense again credit me or reverse karna. You have to reverse it. Understand? Reverse it. Me expense. Provision over provision me TB 40 but new provision 37.5 over provision. So reverse provision debit, doubtful debt credit. Clear? Then provision opening had 40, right? Closing should be 37.5. So provision account debit 2.5. Expense credit, but me expense PNL expense aduela profit more than on increase profit increase doubtful debt expense decrease, profit increased. What's the answer? 202.5. Okay then. 202.7, 500. 39. At the first week, January, petty cash controller balance 3,000. First week, I'll be what bucket tag me. First week. Balance how much? Balance was 3,000. Clear? But the maximum value we call what? Impressed. So we don't know it. Impressed right? Oh, no, maximum limit. Right? Then at the beginning of second week, I'll draw the second week here. Bucket tag second week. Right? Second week 17,000 was reimbursed, including 5,000 incremental. This is my all impressed then. So new impressed මේ අලුත් impressed එක වැඩි වෙනවලු 5,000. Clear? 5,000. So there was a balance second week. So we don't know it. Then එතකොට මේක වැඩි වෙනවලු with 5,000. මේ 5,000. So total තමයි 17,000 reimbursement. Clear? එතකොට මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා මොනවද? First week petty cash expense and also incremental, right? Increment how much? 5,000. So can you tell me the expense of last week? Then කොච්චර reimburse කරන්න නැද්ද? Incremental 5,000 and last week expenses was how much? කීයක් වෙන්න ඕනද? 12,000. එහෙනම් මෙතන 12,000. Understand? So එතනින් ගන්න පුළුවන් මෙතන මේ. So because then last week expenses ළමයි 12,000 decreased. Clear? Therefore how much was the all petty cash impressed? මේ අතනින් ගත්ත step number 1, right? Step number 2, right? Therefore how much was the petty cash all impressed, which is 15,000, right? 15,000. එහෙනම් මෙතන කීයක් වෙන්නේ නැද්ද? මෙතන කීයක් වෙන්නේ නැද්ද මේ all impressed 15 now increased by 5,000. Therefore new impressed how much? 20,000. ඔන්න ඔය විදිහට ගන්න box එකක් ගන්න. හරිම ලේසි. Within 1 minute you can do. Number 1, all impressed 15,000. Write down the double entry of petty cash expense of first week. Expenses how much? 12,000. Petty cash expenses debit 12,000. Petty cash credit 12,000. Petty cash is credit. That's the double entry. right පටස් කරලා කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් ඔයා මේකට විනාඩි 5ක් විතර ගත්තොත් වැඩි අවුල්ලා. right ටක් කරලා කරන්න මේ methods. Follow these methods. Clear? Right, then when I was doing A-level MCQ paper, I write hundreds of මං හදලා answer එක, but I couldn't get answer for investment decisions question. මට ඒකට විතර directly මම එළිම හදපුවම answer එක ආවේ නැත්තේ, ඒක විතරයි ආවේ නැත්තේ, but I took around 10 minutes and again do and got the answer. 50ම යන්න දෙදි මගේ නම්. හරි මම නම් ගියෝ 50ම. එකක් තමයි ආවේ නැත්තේ මට. What is this? Says deducts. No, just write down the double entry. Previous question 38. ඒක මම අහන්න ඕනේ. Return invert නේ. What's the double entry? Return invert debit, debtor, credit. No any sales. Consider return inwards. Sales minus නේ. Sales return inwards income minus profit decreased. Net loss. Net loss and here questions. You can use that equation. Net asset basis. Profit equals closing equity minus opening equity, right, plus drawing minus additional capital, right, minus additional capital. So closing equity, so if instead of these two you can say what? Changes in equity කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ. Changes in equity, right? Question says net losses 90,000. Net loss 90 minus, but drawings how much? Drawings lamai 20,000. There's no additional capital, which is 0, right? Additional capital is 0, but lamai questions not given opening and closing equity. Questions given changes in assets. එහෙනම් ඔයාලට මේක හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. මේ use the equation assets, right, equals liability plus equity. ඉතින් ළමයි here assets changes of assets how much? Then question is liability change. Asset increase by 50,000, right? Question is liability change. So you have to identify the changes in equity. So can't you identify from here? මෙතනින් අරගෙන මෙතන දාලා හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. What's the changes in equity? Here minus 90 plus 20. How much changes in equity? Was it 110 minus 110 then? Yes, ne? Then minus 110. Therefore, liability change how much? Plus 160. Answer should be plus 160. Increase 160. Answer should be 160. It should mention increased. Huh? Right. Right. Okay then. 41. Bank reconciliation. 250 balance of cash account, but it difference. What is the bank statement balance? Here am I think cash accounts balance how much? 250. First of all, adjust it by deducting bank charges. Bank charges on how much bank charges? 20. So adjusted cash balance how much? 230. Clear? So prepare a bank reconciliation. Adjusted cash 230 unpresented plus 450 unrealized minus 100. Closing bank statement balance key the බලන්න. Is it 580,000 plus? Plus means credit balance. Credit balance write down 580,000 credit balance. Bank recs. ඔය මං හදන විදිහට මම හදන්න ඕනේ workings. හරිද? Excel paper එකේ ඔය වෙලා යන්නේ නැහැ නේ. පටවටස් ගන්න ලියවිය හදන්න ටක් ටක් කරලා. ඔයාලා කරන්නේ amounts ටික දාලා කැලලෙන් ගහන වරදින උත්තරේ. වැරදුනම ආයෙ හොයාගන්න බෑ ආයෙ හදන්න ඕනේ මුලින් ඉඳලා. Unpresented 150ද? Oh my god. Sorry. Unpresented 150. Unrealized how much? 450, right? Unrealized 450. What's the answer? Answer what then? Minus 70 then. Is it minus 70? Tell me the answer. Minus 70. මට yes කියලා දාන්න ඕන හොයන්න බෑ මොකක්ද yes කියන්නේ. Minus 70. Minus 70 means bank statement debit balance. Correct? This is correct. Minus 70. Yes. $42. Right, last 8 questions. 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 42. Identify whether direct or indirect. Wood. This is furniture manufacturing. Wood consume by direct. Salary of carpenters direct. Machine depreciation indirect production. Indirect. Number 4 indirect. Indirect. Okay. 43 now. Easier. What is the cost of machine? Right. List price lama you can record. Right. List price 4,000,000. Deduct the trade discount 10%, which is 400,000. Therefore, actual purchases 3,600. Road insurance also you have to get, because when the asset is available, when they got on any road insurance 600, carriage inwards 500, installation 500. Can you take maintenance? Annual maintenance lamai revenue expenditure, right? Not initial. Therefore, total cost how much? 5,200. The round number 1 answer 5,200. Clear? Number 2, what is annual depreciations? Right. How to get annual depreciations? Depreciation equals cost minus residual value divided by lifetime. Right. So cost 5,200. How to get residual value? Lifetime 10 years. 10. How to get residual value? Residual value is end of the year lifetime selling value. Therefore, selling price was how much? 250, but there's an expense. Expense එක අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ විකුණද්දී එන expense ඇතුළත ඒක අයින් කළා තමයි ගන්න ඕනේ. Therefore, residual value how much? 200. Depreciations will be 500,000. Depreciations will be 500,000, right? 44. Identify the VAT control account balance. So remember, purchase VAT, asset or liability. Purchase VAT will be asset, sales VAT, liability, right? So I'll prepare a VAT account here. So VAT opening balance lamai 300,000 credit balance. So sales VAT I'll record credit side. But question says VAT included sales and purchase 8%. During the period paid VAT 450 debit. Right, purchase VAT here. Right. එතකොට කොහොමද හදන්නේ? Then total sales lamai 8,614. Including VAT means 100% or 108. 108%. Again divide karo, multiply by 8. Right, purchases including VAT 5,400, including divide by 108 into 8%. Right, hadala again about here in VAT. Where's it 400? Here's 640. May no need to get double side, right? Double side gonna kill him, write down the balance here. Make a short questions. Right, 640 plus 300. May debit means minus deducted. Right, how much? 90,000 credit balance. 90,000 credit balance. VAT 90 credit. Write down the credit. Credit word. Right. Question of 45. Credit control and VAT control adjustments. 45. What is adjusted debtor control account balance? Right. Debtor control. How much was the balance? Debtor control 400. Look at the errors. First one, discounts allowed 20 debited. Right. May A. Right. Debtor control. Discounts allowed debit, debtor credit nilamai. Debtor credited, but instead of crediting it, it has been debited to the control. Mean the method debit කරලා erroneously. Then how to correct it? first of all you have to credit this debit end make අයින් කරන්න make credited right then set off ni but another 20 you have to credit it here how much then all together how much you have to adjust 400 ළමයි credit means minus මම කෙලින්ම no need to prepare ledger accounts මම කෙලින්ම minus කරලා දානවා 40 credit debit එක අයින් කරලා දාන්න B purchases ni credit C return inward C return inward return inward debit debtor credit ni that one also credited but it has been credited as 51 on 51 incorrect actual value how much actual value should be 15 කොච්චරක් වැඩිද මේ පැත්ත I think 36 නේද to deducted it ළමයි 36 again debited means plus නේද අයින් කරන්න 15 එක වැඩි ටික අයින් කරන්න plus තමයි debit කරන්න plus or on you can prepare ledger account clear yeah, you can prepare ledger account right I take like this short question D sales journal overstated I think overstate means ළමයි sales increases නේ right me D sales increases therefore sales ළමයි debited here to deducted ළමයි again credited to reverse it right therefore how much the adjusted cash balance how much the adjusted cash balance key then you can prepare a ledger account na? $296 correct the account එක ගෙවුත් balance කර ඉන්නත් ඕනේ ඔය විදිහට හදන්න ටක් ගාලා okay the right creditor balance 300 here correction says B only B error B 50,000 list price of goods list price lamai 500 and then what's the trade discount 10% trade discount 10% 50 therefore creditor actual value should be like 450 ni you know how you purchase it but without this right recorded list price එක තමයි දාලා දෙන්නේ මෙතන 500 incorrect that means 50 trade discounts also recorded so you have to reverse trade discounts so debited 50 debit means minus credited trade discount එක අයින් කළා දාන්න therefore adjusted balance how much 250,000 okay the correct right last 5 now only 5 minutes before 11 I'll stop okay the so sales overstated by 50 the sales overstated by 50 right therefore here 50 sales overstated by 50 ni? So tell me the adjusted balance මෙතන කී දෙන්න ඕනේ එතකොට 346ද අන්න ඒ වගේ වැරදුනොත් ඉවරයි ඉතින් 346 yes right last 5 46. Right, I'll erase this one. 46 now. Oh, answer it, you know. Right. $46. Question is what is the stationery expense? Question says stationery is April 1st. May opening stationery stock. Clear. Opening stationery stock 6,000. Had me business had stationery 6,000. Purchase stationeries are like cost of sales. Purchase stationery is 30,000. Got. Right, unused stationeries means closing, but මෙතන තියෙනවා stationery damage කියලා තියෙනවානේ. Therefore can you use it? No නේ. You have to deduct it. Right, deducted how much? 1,000. Right, and then you can deduct closing stationery stock. Closing stationeries means remaining stationeries. How much? 4,000. අර sales මේ proceeds from selling damage enter ඒක don't consider, right? ඒක ගන්න මෙතනින් total එක තමයි අයින් කරන්නේ. damage එක ඔක්කොම ටික අයින් කරලා දානවා. Therefore මේ used stationeries, that will be the expense. $31,000. Within 30 seconds you can do 31,000. Correct the basic salary 5,000, allowances 1,000. So total will be on gross salary. So this is the expense now, yeah. This is the salary expense. Therefore I know just one double entry, yeah. Then someone like salary control debit ka kahin thing ne ka kiyan no salary debit 6,000. EPF 10% lamai deducted, right? 500 that is now a payable. Payable mean EPF payable, right? So net salary how much? Net salary, that is the payable amount. Payable salary, paid or payables me salary payable 5,500. If you want you can write down cash here. Cash or salary payable, that's all. Or salary control again hima karanna ඕනේ නෑ. No, here then this is damage, previous one damage 1,000. So I'll write down double entry. So damage, right? Loss debit 1,000, right? You have to deduct it from purchase stationaries are like cost of sales. Purchase stationaries 1,000 me purchase වලින් අයින් කරනවා because you can't use it, but they're making loss එක recover වෙලා තිනවා. This loss, damage loss තමයි sold for 300, right? Therefore cash received in a remaining loss how much? 700. Remaining loss 700. Then other, this is recorded on a current asset, this is recorded on other expenses. Me this is the one you have to deduct it from here because you can't use it. Are 700 in loss එක loss, damage loss recorded on other expense. අර මෙතනින් වා minus කරන්න ඕනේ 1,000. අර total damage වෙච්ච එක වයින් කරනවා because you can't use it. Me can't use total damage. This is the damage loss, this is the received amount. Okay then. Any April 1st cost of right of use asset 5,960. ame right of use asset value 5,960. There are 3 components to identify right of use asset. මොනවද right of use asset එකට එන්න ඕනේ තුන? Down payment, direct cost and present value of installment, or otherwise you can say lease liability කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Lease liability. Clear? So down payment how much? Down payment was 2,500. I think there's no direct cost. So I think what's the difference? difference will be lease liability. මේක තමයි lease liability එක වෙන්න ඕනේ, lease creditor balance. Can you tell me? Lease creditor balance. Can you tell me? Credit side එකට එන්න ඕනේ ඒක. 3460 ද? 3460. Understand? 3460. So yes, lease period and both ළමයි 5 years නේ. Annual lease installment paid 1250 during the period may debit 1250. The current interest ළමයි credited. Current interest how much? 346. The lease creditor balance how much? One lease creditor balance එක කීයක් වෙනවද බලන්න. 3000, 2556. Right. For answer number 1, 2556. Right. Answer number 2. What is the right of net asset? Me right of use asset value now 5960. So you have to deduct the depreciations. The accumulated depreciation is only 1 year. Divide by 5. එක අවුරුද්ද එන්න ගන්න ඕන. 1192 depreciation. So net value how much? 4768 the one. 4768. Yes, that is a net value, right of use asset net value. $4,768. Okay, very easy. Huh? I'll do question of 49 and 50. 50 product කරලා දාන්න මෙතන. 50 A, write down investment what? First one lamai fixed deposit investing activity. Income tax operating activity. Dividend income received. Why? Because of investing shares. Received dividend. Paid dividends lamai finance because share issues can finance. Dividend received because of investing shares. Investing. Issuing right issues finance. Right. Last thing. Right. Okay. හරිද මෙතන එනකම් බලන්න. Average inventory. I think there are questions. Debtor collection period. So how to calculate debtor collection period? 365 days divided by debtor what? Turnover ratio. Right? 365 divided by how to calculate turnover ratio? Debtor turnover ratio. Credit sales divided by average debtor. Average debtor. Clear? So credit sales how much? 1460. Right? Question says here, I think debtor collection period how much? 5 days. 5 days. එහෙනම් මෙතන කීයක් එන්න ඕනේද? Can you tell me? So you can identify average debtor from this equation. මෙතනින් අරගෙන මෙතන ගන්න. එහෙනම් මෙතන කීයක් එන්න? මේ divide by 5. කී දෙන්නේ? 73 ද? 73. So write down here 73. So එහෙනම් මෙතන කීයක් මේ divide by 73 this. Is it 20,000? 20,000. මේකෙන් divide කරලා ගන්න. එහෙනම් average data කියලා දාන්න number 2 20,000. Number 1 average inventory. Then here question says inventory turnover ratio. Me inventory turnover. What? Cost of sales divided by average inventory. Turnover ratio 20 times. Right? You have to identify average inventory. But you can get like cost of sales. How to get cost of sales? Sales, how much? 1,460. Here ළමයි gross profit එක ගන්න පුළුවන් නේද? Gross profit percentage 25%. Calculate 25% from sales. ඒක විතරනේ sales එකකදී. 365ද? 365. Therefore cost of sales how much? Difference. The කෙලිම 75% ගත්තත් හරි. 1095. 1095. Clear? එහෙනම් කීයද මෙතන එන්න ඕනේ? මේ 1095 divided by 20. 54,750 the average inventory. $54,750. Yes. Right. Now tell me how many questions correct. Well, roughly look at and tell me. How many questions correct now? Out of 50? Yeah, roughly. 46. Right, good. Others?